The grand chandelier of the Rutherford mansion glittered like 1,000 judging eyes. Every wall shone with gold. Every voice carried the polished tone of old money. And in the midst of it all, Lena, the black maid with soft eyes and a tired smile, carried trays of champagne, weaving between the elite like a ghost. She'd learned to blend in, to be invisible. But tonight, her invisibility shattered. The pianist played a waltz, elegant, slow, dripping with pride, and the host, Margaret Rutherford, raised her glass high. Margaret was a woman of wealth and sharpness. Her family owned half the town's real estate, and she wore her privilege like perfume, strong enough to choke the air. "Ladies and gentlemen," she declared, her voice echoing through the ballroom. "Tonight, my son, Nicholas Rutherford, shall dance the traditional Rutherford waltz. Whoever matches his step will earn his hand for the next round." The guests clapped politely, knowing full well it was a show, not a proposal. Nicholas, a handsome young man in a tuxedo, smiled with the ease of someone who'd never been told no. But then fate took an uninvited step. As Lena passed with her tray, Margaret's sharp eyes landed on her. "You there," she said suddenly. "The maid. You look like you're listening too closely to the music." Lena froze, tray trembling slightly. I just like the piano, ma'am." "Oh, she likes the piano." Margaret laughed, voice cutting. "Tell me, dear, do you dance too? Or is that above your station?" The room chuckled cruelly. Nicholas's expression tightened. He hated when his mother did this, but he stayed silent. Lena wanted to walk away, to vanish. But something inside her, something deeper than pride, stopped her. "I can dance," she said softly, eyes calm. The laughter turned into surprise. Margaret tilted her head, intrigued and vicious. "Then prove it, dear. If you can dance this waltz with my son, perfectly, I shall eat my words." She smiled wickedly. "And if you dance it better, well, then he shall marry you." Gasps echoed around the room. Everyone thought it was a joke, except Lena. Nicholas looked at his mother, then back at Lena. "Mother, that's enough." But Margaret waved a jeweled hand. No, let's have our entertainment." Lena placed her tray on the table. Her heart raced, but her feet felt steady. The pianist looked at her nervously. She nodded once, and the waltz began. At first, Nicholas led stiffly, polite, restrained, expecting her to falter. But the moment Lena's hand met his, something shifted. Her movement was effortless, her rhythm perfect, her grace undeniable. The audience watched, stunned, as she spun, not like a maid, but like a woman who belonged to the music itself. She wasn't following him. She was leading with her heart. The whispers began. "Who is she? Where did she learn that? She moves like a professional." Lena's dress twirled, the plain uniform now flowing like silk under the golden lights. Nicholas couldn't take his eyes off her. "You've done this before," he murmured mid-turn, breathless. Lena smiled faintly. "Once upon a time. Before I was cleaning floors, I was competing." The music soared. Margaret's smirk faded into disbelief. She clutched her pearls, watching her joke collapse into humiliation. When the music stopped, the room was silent, except for Lena's soft breathing. Then applause. Slow at first, then louder, then unstoppable. Nicholas bowed slightly, then turned to Lena, and to everyone's shock, he bowed to her. Margaret's face went pale. After the guests dispersed, the ballroom was quiet again. Lena tried to slip away, but Nicholas caught her near the back hall. "Wait," he said. "That wasn't luck. You're trained." Lena hesitated. "I was a national junior dance champion once. My father taught me before he died. After that, life happened." She smiled sadly. "Bills don't pay themselves with trophies." Nicholas looked at her with something his world rarely showed: respect. "Then you shouldn't be here," he said softly. "You deserve better." "I'm fine," she replied. "People like your mother, they remind me why I dance. Not for approval, for freedom." Just then, Margaret entered, heels echoing like thunder. "Freedom?" she scoffed. "Don't flatter yourself, girl." That was pity applause. Lena met her gaze steadily. "No, ma'am. That was truth, something your money can't buy." Margaret froze. No one had ever spoken to her like that. Nicholas stepped between them. "Mother, stop. You embarrassed her, and yourself. You said if she danced perfectly, you'd eat your words." Margaret's jaw clenched. "This isn't over." But Lena just smiled. "It is for me." She walked out with quiet dignity, leaving the grand woman speechless in her own ballroom. Days later, a new gala was held, this time hosted by the city's cultural foundation. Whispers spread fast. The maid who outdanced a millionaire's son. When Lena walked into the hall in a modest yet elegant cream gown, people turned. She wasn't serving anymore. She was invited. Nicholas found her by the stairs. "You came." "I almost didn't," she said with a soft laugh. "Didn't want to outshine you twice." He smiled. "Then let's make it official this time." The orchestra began another waltz. They stepped onto the floor, equals now, and danced as if the world itself had paused to watch. No mockery, no pity, just rhythm, light, and truth. Margaret Rutherford watched from afar, silent. For the first time, she saw something beyond her pride. Her son smiling, happy, free. And the woman she mocked had become the mirror of everything she'd lost: grace, courage, humanity. When the dance ended, Margaret approached them slowly. Lena braced herself, but Margaret simply said, "You reminded me what real class looks like." Then, almost whispering, "And I'm sorry." Lena smiled, accepting it without bitterness. "Everyone can learn the steps, Mrs. Rutherford. Some just need the right music." Weeks later, a photo spread through social media. Nicholas and Lena teaching dance to underprivileged kids at the community center. The waltz that broke the walls. And for once, the internet didn't argue. They just watched, amazed. Because sometimes, a single dance can change more than hearts. It can change history. True grace doesn't come from money or bloodlines. It comes from dignity, talent, and heart. Racism and class prejudice may look powerful, but when real strength and beauty rise from within, they silence the cruelest voices.